The last video that I posted on this channel was a sort of spec commercial for a backpack brand called JanSport. A speculative commercial, or spec commercial for short, is a video that a freelancer would make to show a client their skill set in hopes that a client would then hire them. I came up with the idea to make this video while I was shopping for my back-to-school clothes. Hey, do you like this hat? I thought about how great it would be for JanSport to actually see my video about their backpack and post it to their social media. Let's face it, even though they probably won't see my video, it came out great nonetheless. In today's video, I decided to show you the behind the scenes, break it down, and explain exactly what goes into making a commercial like this. So without further ado, this is how I made a commercial for JanSport. The process of filmmaking can almost always be broken down into 3 steps. Pre-production, which is planning your video out beforehand. Production, when you go out into the field and actually film your video. And post-production, which is trimming and organizing your footage into a cohesive story. Let's get started by talking about pre-production. Pre-production is insanely important when making almost any kind of video or film. Planning your video out beforehand not only helps you save time when filming, but it also helps you not to make any mistakes or leave anything out. Normally, I would write an in-depth shot list before I make my videos that describe everything from composition, to lighting, to camera movement. When planning out this video, however, I came up with a technique that is way more efficient. Taking stills with your phone is a great way to visualize your video before actually going out and filming all your footage. I found this technique incredibly useful while I was planning out this commercial. Now let's move on and talk about how I actually filmed this. Mostly about how much of a pain in the was to lug around a whole backpack full of heavy camera gear. To make it even more difficult, this video was shot entirely by myself, without an extra set of hands to hold the camera. That meant that I had to set up a tripod to film every single shot in this sequence, which was extremely cumbersome. This really does get annoying after a while, but it's worth it for the shot, right? Even though these 2 shots may look like they were filmed near each other, they were actually filmed in completely different locations, in order to make the most of what I had access to. I chose to shoot this video on an overcast day at around 5 p.m. when the sun was low in the sky. These lighting conditions are great because they provide nice, soft, even light without leaving any harsh shadows or green color casts from the leaves. It also makes it way easier to edit the footage to make it look good. Speaking of editing, let's hop into my computer and I'll show you my editing process of this commercial. Okay, so now I'm at my computer, let's talk a little bit about this editing process. I started by importing all my footage and making a rough cut in the timeline. Then I changed the speed and duration of all my clips so they cut on the beat of the music. Later on, I added some subtle movement to most of my clips. Since all my footage was filmed on a tripod, I felt like my viewers would get bored from the lack of camera movement. Believe it or not, this adds so much more production value to any video or film. After that, I added some finishing touches, like some sharpening, a color grade, some sound effects, and some vignetting to help draw the viewer's eye to the subject. I would assume that most people didn't really think about what went into the shot of the bus driving past me on the street. Yeah, that was completely faked. Let me show you how I did it. I took an empty shot of just the background and nothing else. I added a PNG of the bus, animated the position so it moved across the frame, and added some directional blur to make it look natural. Then I filmed myself walking into frame in front of a green screen, and keyed myself out to get rid of the green behind me. I also decided to add just a touch of Gaussian blur to the background layer to make it look a bit more authentic. With that all said and done, here is the final product. Pretty impressive, right? And that's it. What'd you think of this commercial and my breakdown video? Please feel free to leave a like, comment, or even share this video with your friends if you found it interesting or helpful. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.